This is my daughter, Esther.
For months, Julie Yakimchuk and her husband Dennis have dreamed of growing their family. Two big brothers for little Esther here, 10-year-old Bogdan and his 6-year-old brother Max.
In our hearts, they're already our children.
For the last 2 years, the brothers have lived in separate orphanages in Ukraine. Last summer and again over the winter, the Yakimchuks hosted Bogdan at their Vancouver home through an organization called Host Orphans Worldwide.
Bogdan was such a joy. He was just a joy. We fell in love with him. He's so sweet.
They soon realized they wanted to adopt Bogdan. Max, too, even though they've never met him in person, just by phone. The Yakimchuks began adoption procedures in September. They were closing in on final steps when the war in Ukraine broke out, halting everything. Bogdan had only left the U.S. weeks before that.
It's just been an emotional roller coaster.
Recently, Julie learned Bogdan's orphanage had escaped to Poland and brother Max's orphanage fled to Italy. They've been able to talk with Bogdan by phone.
We sighed a big sigh of relief when they left Ukraine. So we were very thankful for that. But then it's like you have another set of worries. How are we going to get him here?
It's a plight many other families are facing as they try to adopt Ukrainian children.
It feels like their dreams are being shattered.
Daniel Nurbas is president of Nightlight Christian Adoptions, the agency Julie's family is working with. He says to continue adoption proceedings, courts in Ukraine must reopen. Right now, it's just not safe.
Their ministry in charge of adoption sent a message saying, we haven't given up hope. We want all of the refugee kids who are moved to other parts of Eastern Europe back in the country when it's safe, when the war's over, and then we'll resume the adoption decree.
In the meantime, the Yakimchuks would like to host Bogdan again until it's safe for him to return to Ukraine. But the adoption agency says that can be tricky. They say the State Department would likely deny a hosting visa if they'd already applied for an adoption visa.
If the long game is adoption, then we do need to abide by the law and the rules.
Our God is a miracle worker, so nothing's impossible for him.
The Yakimchuks' faith eases their pain, especially as they think about Bogdan.
He's really hopeful. He's asking, when are you going to come see me? When are you going to come get me? And, he told me that just yesterday he broke down crying. And I asked him, why did you cry? He says, well, because I miss you guys.
I asked the adoption agency president his thoughts on a timeline. When might these adoptions be able to go through? He said there's no set answer, but it would need to be safe again to move about the streets of Kyiv.
Let us hope someone can help them cut through all that bureaucracy. Thank you, Catherine, for that story.